Thank you for joining me this afternoon. The time is 3:08 Central, and we have a severe thunderstorm near Stapleton, Ringgold, and Maxwell in Nebraska that is currently producing wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. If you are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor possible of a building, away from windows, because these kinds of winds can act as a low-end tornado. This is very dangerous to be in this storm, especially if you're outside. You really need to move to an indoors area. Again, this is going to be kind of like a low-end EF0 tornado, all right? It's not going to be insanely, incredible, but there are going to be winds strong enough to, knock over some trees, knock over some power lines, maybe even do some damage to your house just in general. So it's best to be on the lowest floor of a building in a situation like this, just because that's the safest thing possible, right? If your roof collapses, you're gonna not want to be on the, on your main floor of your house. If a tree falls on your house, same thing. You're not gonna want to be on the main floor because that tree could fall right into the roof, and the roof will fall right into you. So you need to be on the lowest floor. You need to get away from windows because damaging winds can fling hail at your windows. They did just issue a new warning. This is going to be for a different storm, actually, on the southern side of this. This is for Brady and Etna. Seek shelter in this warning. But as I was about to say, get away from windows as well, because this storm is now capable of producing hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and that hail can be flung at your windows really fast already because it's falling out of the sky, but the 70-mile-per-hour winds can push it even faster. So again, this is a very concerning storm here up there in kind of southern and central Nebraska right now. We do have some very, destructive winds in this area, obviously, and then we've also got a little bit of a hail core starting to develop here near Tryon that's a little bit on the concerning side, so we may see that get severe warning, but right now these are the only two severe thunderstorm warnings that we have. These are going to be some pretty dangerous winds out here, right? About 0.4 degrees off the surface, the radar is estimating a wind gust at around 83 miles per hour. Now, that's elevated. That's not surface winds, so the winds on the surface are not actually going to be that high, but 70 miles per hour at the surface is definitely possible at this point, all right? So areas like Etna, you're going to be next in line here. There's not too many big cities out here, which is good. This line is mainly going to remain in rural portions there of central Nebraska, pretty much. If it goes as far out as like Callaway, then we could have a big problem, but Etna's really the biggest town in the path of this, and even Etna's not huge. There are towns like Brady and Maxwell, but for the most part, those towns are pretty much done. But go ahead and stay inside. You still are under a severe thunderstorm warning. You got to remember that. But overall, the main threat has mostly passed you, and now we're looking at areas like Etna getting impacted. In fact, we did just get a new Storm Prediction Center update. I did just see that update there on Radar Omega. We are sticking with a slight risk of severe weather. There, I don't believe, are too many changes to this. They may have shrunk the slight risk a little bit. It doesn't go quite as far north as it did, but I actually think they pushed it a little bit further down to the south. So a little bit further to the south, not quite as far out to the north, but we still have the 5% tornado, the 15% hatched on winds, and the 15% on hail. So not too many major changes to what we had earlier today. If you didn't see earlier today's stream, go ahead and check it out. It wasn't that active, but we kind of got to talk about the outbreak that was coming up here. And, here you go. You're sitting here with 70-mile-per-hour winds in Nebraska. So, yeah. We also have a special weather statement. That's going to be out here in western Nebraska near Bridgeport. This storm is going to be capable of producing wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and half-inch hail. Not quite as concerning as our other storms here near Stapleton, which is why I'm not covering it as much. If you are in Stapleton, I'm thinking this is just going to barely go to your south, but if you're on, the south side of Stapleton, it may be best to, actually, this line is moving north, so it's actually going to directly impact Stapleton. Sorry, I didn't even check what way this line of storms was moving. That's really foolish of me, but, Stapleton now, I'm pretty concerned about you now that I've actually looked at that. Stapleton and Gandy. I forgot these were heading straight to the north. So, if you're in Stapleton, whenever this reaches you, you're going to want to take shelter. I'm still a little concerned about Etna, but I think at this point, now I'm more concerned about Stapleton. I was wrong. It is going to go through a pretty big town out here. You got things like the Stapleton Post Office, the St. John's Catholic Church, the Stapleton Public Schools. There are a few locations out here that would be bad to get hit by this severe thunderstorm. So, we'll watch this here. This is just off to the northwest of Lexington, just off to the northeast of North Platte. Let's go ahead and bring our live cam up from Burlington, Kansas, and you can see it is shaking around like crazy, dude. It's insane. Burlington's not even in a storm. Those are just high winds. We do have storm chasers Brandon Kopic, Vince Welty, and Corey Gherkin out there today. They are all live if you have the Radar Omega app, or you can just check them out on YouTube. I would recommend going ahead and doing that if you are in the path of these storms, because they're going to be providing life-saving, like footage of the storms. I believe there were a few research studies that showed that people pay more attention to the storms and take action more often if they actually get to see, like, a picture of a tornado rather than somebody just saying there's a tornado with the radar up. It kind of gives them that extra level of, okay, this is definitely confirmed. It's on the ground. I see it through my own eyes, So that's what the storm chasers are out here for the most part. And also, a lot of people do enjoy storm chasing, and I know they do. They're some of the best at it in the country. So, we're in good hands here. But, still got to look out for this, alright? The storm chasers can tell you that it's coming, but they can't stop it from coming, But yeah, this is going to be up towards Stapleton relatively soon. We do have a couple lines of storms, but this is what I was talking about last stream when I said we could have an MCS event unfold. This was what I was talking about. All the models have been showing this big line kind of forming here across Nebraska and Kansas, and it did. This one in the front's mainly just going to be a gusty wind, maybe a few pockets of heavy rainfall maker. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds again. Whoa, what in the world? My Radar Omega must have not been updating, because now we have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But, okay, this entire line is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds. This includes, not quite Kearney, Nebraska, the west side of Kearney, Lexington, Stapleton, Tryon, Arthur. All those areas need to be taking shelter. Sorry, I don't know why it wasn't updating, but we now have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings for hail up to 1 inch in diameter. 5. Again, I don't, my Radar Omega has been kind of glitchy the past couple weeks. Huh. That's really interesting. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Apparently, these warnings for 70-mile-per-hour winds, one of them has been up for almost 30 minutes now. I thought I went live whenever the first one got issued, but apparently I didn't. So sorry about that. Dang, that is really annoying. I don't think we've had any tornado warnings, but apparently Radar Omega hates me today, so let's go ahead and check anyway. Yeah, no tornado warnings today yet. The tornado threat is on the lower end, but a brief spin up is possible. Alright. Yeah, again, sorry about that, guys. I don't know why my Radar Omega wanted to do that to me at, the worst time possible, too. Whenever we have a huge squall line producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. This goes as far south as, Hunter, Kansas, and as far northwest as Arthur, Nebraska. We have 6 severe thunderstorm warnings for 70-mile-per-hour winds. You need to be in shelter in all of them. This is really crazy. Again, at this point, an MCS is looking more and more likely. A mesoscale convective system. I believe the severe thunderstorm watch is for scattered gusts up to 75 miles per hour likely, and we're definitely already seeing that. Wow. Very impressive line here. Again, I'm so sorry I didn't see these warnings. And now they disappeared again, but they're still in effect. They just want to disappear, and now they're back. I don't know what's up with that. If you guys know what's going on with that, let me know. I don't know if this is a new warning or not, because Radar Omega is trolling me. It looks like it could be. Let me actually check the NWS severe... Yeah, it is. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning. 70-mile-per-hour winds, hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and tornado possible tag. So, let's actually see here. This is going to be for the Mullen area, and yeah, we do have a couple of knots in this line that are starting to rotate. A couple of notches. So, if you are included in this warning, once these storms reach you, you've really got to be taking shelter. Because, again, this is a very significant storm. Not only capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour winds, but also possibly a tornado a little bit down the line. Again, there are a couple of spots here that are doing some minor rotation. It's not enough yet to prompt a tornado warning from the National Weather Service, but they did go ahead and throw the tornado possible tag on a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, I feel so stupid. It's not my fault, I promise. My Radar Omega is just actually broken. It's been doing this for, like, the past week. It did it during, like, the April 2nd outbreak, too. And see, they just disappeared again. All the warnings just disappear, and then they come back. I hate it. There we go. Now they're back. Like, why does it do that? If anybody knows, please tell me. Because it's so annoying. I have my alerts on. They just like disappear for a little bit and then they come back. I don't know why. I really don't. And then, like, sometimes my warning sounds are broken. Like, there's supposed to be a sound that comes on for whenever a new severe thunderstorm warning is issued, but for some reason that hasn't been happening recently either. I don't know, guys. I'll stop complaining about it, but it is really annoying. Again, you guys, just a little bit of rotation there in a couple of spots. See you. A little bit of rotation in a couple spots. Not super concerning yet, but again, it is enough to prompt the National Weather Service to put a tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning, so you should be taking that very seriously. Again, even without the tornado threat, this line is producing wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour across pretty much all of southwestern Nebraska, even down into north central Kansas. Let me actually check. Do we have any storm reports from today yet? I don't think so. Again, I kind of been looking at the radar pretty actively, but over the past few hours in between streams, but I was like, well, none of them are warned yet, so this isn't really too intense yet. And then one of the warnings popped up, and then, you know, none of the other ones did, so I'm sorry, I should have gone live about a half hour earlier. We actually do have a damaging wind report. This is going to be from 3 miles east-northeast of North Platte. This is pretty recent. 62-mile-per-hour gust. So it's not just a radar-indicated thing anymore. We have confirmed gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour approaching parts of central Nebraska. We do not have any destructive severe thunderstorm warnings yet, but we do have 7 considerable ones. And again, we may see some kind of rotation try to develop in that little line there. So let's go back down here to Kansas. We actually do have our storm chasers getting pretty close to this line here. Again, all of these severe thunderstorm warnings are for 70-mile-per-hour winds. What is that? That could be a little bit of something trying to rotate there. Looks like we maybe got something trying to tighten up here to the northwest of Macon in Nebraska. They may slap the tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning. Nothing dropped down yet, obviously, but we'll have to watch that. It's definitely trying to rotate a little bit. Oh my gosh, dude, this is insane. 7 warnings at once for 70-mile-per-hour winds. We have a new special weather statement down here in Kansas. 55-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail possible there. It's going to be for the Little River area. The most intense part of this line is the northern side. The only thing that I think is going to be stopping this from being a derecho is I don't think it's going to travel far enough. It has to travel 240 miles to be a derecho. So far, it's not even close to that. But everything else, I mean, it's pretty impressive with this. This is one of the more impressive wind events we've seen this year. It's not too often you see 70-mile-per-hour winds that are this widespread. You know, the past few tornado outbreaks, we've had gusts that have been... We even had a gust from the last one that was over 100, but that was one isolated occurrence. This entire line is possibly doing over 70 miles per hour. And, I mean, it's definitely long enough to be a derecho. I mean, this is like a 250-mile area that's getting 70-mile-per-hour winds. It's really impressive. Let's look at our rotating storm here. Where was it? Obviously, it's not rotating as much anymore because I can't even find it. You'd think it would, like, stick out. Where's it at? Oh, wait, that was down to the south, was it? Let's see. Oh, it was this. Yeah, it's not rotating quite as impressively anymore now that it's northwest of Macon. Honestly, at this point, the most concerning rotation again is going to be up here in the one with our tornado possible tag. But rotation doesn't matter, right? We've got 70-mile-per-hour winds impacting a good portion of the state of Nebraska and parts of Kansas. So, and then on the backside of this, you got a full-on winter storm. Like Cheyenne, Wyoming just went through some intense snow. And then, like, 100 miles away, you got a severe weather outbreak, a massive severe weather outbreak occurring. This is already a severe weather outbreak. We've already had tons of severe thunderstorms. They did extend this warning here. 55-mile-per-hour winds, land spouts, and pea-sized hail for the one north of Bridgeport now. So they did put the land spout tag on that, so you gotta definitely look out for that. But land spouts are not easy to find on radar. Very hard to detect. New severe thunderstorm warning. The noise actually worked that time. That is a... where's it? It just disappeared. Why? Why? Or is it this one? I think it's this one. This goes all the way up to Thedford. This is for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Again, whenever this line reaches you, you need to be taking this seriously and taking shelter. Unfortunately, this could directly hit the radar site, which may cause some problems. Yeah, it is for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and it is this one. Man, this is huge. And it's like, this is even crazier than I thought it was, because I thought it was just that one warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds. But no, the entire line is producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Or at least it's capable of it. It's not like everywhere in here you're going to see a 70-mile-per-hour gust. But all these parts of the storm are capable of doing that. Again, we only have one damaging wind report sent in to the National Weather Service so far that we're aware of. That was from North Platte. It was a 62-mile-per-hour wind gust. So we know for a fact it can do at least 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds. But I think there are several spots here that are capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour winds, possibly. Alright, it looks like one of our severe thunderstorm warnings out here in the west did just get dropped. A new one has been issued. I think it's this one, yeah. So this is an extension for the line that's about to go through Kearney. So Kearney, you got to take this seriously. Again, when this gets to Kearney, we are calling for everybody here to be in shelter. These are some very hazardous winds. If you're driving, the best thing you can do is stop driving, especially in like a semi-truck. This is very dangerous to drive in a semi-truck in these kind of winds. I mean, just look at how impressive that is. Look at that, like, bow echo shape. Again, if this was able to travel far enough, this would be a derecho, but I don't think it's going to be able to. That's crazy. And now half of our warnings disappeared again. What is up with that? I know I said I'd stop complaining, but I lied, okay? Oh, wait, no, I actually think they just expired. Because we had a lot that expired at 3:30, and we just hit the 3:30 hour. Okay. So we are down to 4 warnings now, which is much less than 7, obviously, so that's good. But still, 4 severe thunderstorm warnings for 70-mile-per-hour winds is not good overall. Specifically, this little notch here. This little area kind of to the northeast of Bucktail is trying to do something there, I think. Well, alright. Let's continue here. Okay, and we still haven't had any tornado warnings today. But that's really trying to rotate pretty good there. It's not like crazy rotation yet, but it's trying. It is. At the very least, there's a pocket of higher winds there, you know. Let's actually look higher up into the atmosphere, what that looks like. I don't do that very often, but I can. So, I mean, even 0.8 degrees elevated, it's not that impressive of rotation. But we'll watch it for sure, obviously. And we're watching this entire line kind of right now for anything that does try to spin up here. Yeah, it looks like the area to the south actually is not quite as impressive. So if you are in kind of Hutchinson to Manhattan and you're sitting there in the slight risk, I think the more concerning part of the slight risk at this point is going to be up here. Again, the most concerning part of the line kind of extends out to Kearney, back up towards areas like Mullen and Hyannis even. Hyannis. Is that Hyannis or Hyannis? And we do have our storm chasers out there. They're currently located near Glasgow right now, and towards Simpson. and Asherville. Unfortunately, I can't bring the radars up because of copyright reasons, but yep. All right. It's trying to spin up here. It's getting just a little bit more impressive. It's still nothing insane, but I think it's something we're gonna have to watch over the next few minutes here. And just like that, now we have 4 damaging wind reports. We had the 62 mile per hour gust in North Platte. There's now a 65 mile per hour gust near Alma, a 67 mile per hour gust near Loomis, and a 60 mile per hour gust near Cozad. So now we know this is at least capable of doing 65 to 70 mile per hour winds. Confirmed. It's not a radar indicated thing anymore. I mean, just like that, over the span of a few minutes, we went from a 1 wind report to 4. So, if you're in Stapleton, this is right on your doorstep. You need to be taking cover. Hopefully everybody in Stapleton's taking this seriously. Hopefully everybody in the track of this is taking this seriously. Broken Bow, you're not under a warning yet, but you're not too far out from this, okay? So, be wary there. You got probably about 15 to 20 minutes, and this is on your doorstep. Storms are moving at about 50 miles per hour to the north, it looks like. This one's moving 65 miles per hour. It kind of depends on where you're at. This one's only moving at 45 miles per hour, and then this one's moving at 55 miles per hour. So the line in general is moving at about 50 miles per hour off to the north, kind of northeast, or northeast, north. However I can say that makes sense, basically. It's moving a little bit to the east, but in general, it's kind of moving up to the north. Kearney, this is right on your doorstep, too. You got a few stronger storms coming in. Again, large hail could be a threat, but the main thing here is going to be those damaging wind gusts, up to 70 miles per hour possible. Now that this line is starting to hit more populated areas, we are starting to get more and more of those damage reports, obviously. Again, just a tiny bit of rotation there. Nothing insanely impressive, but yeah, it's trying, but it's not doing very well. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but the Hyannis area, you might have something here. Or I said something like Hyannis is the far edge of this line, or the most intense part of the line. It runs from Hyannis down to wherever. And, I mean, there are some stronger gusts coming into Hyannis soon, it looks like. So, we'll watch that. Even though Hyannis is not in a warning, it probably should be. Actually, it might be in a warning. My Radar Omega is just bad today. Let's see if they're in a warning. I don't believe you are. But again, my Radar Omega is choosing the worst day possible to be terrible. Actually, it's been doing this for the past few days, but like I said. Alright. Let's see, how many wind reports do we have now? I think we're still chilling at 4. Yep. All in Nebraska. All from this Bow Echo line. Here. This mesoscale convective system. Alright. We got our storm chasers getting closer and closer to this thing, man. Whoa! Alright, we've got something trying to spin up now all of a sudden here. This is actually pretty concerning. This is off to the far north of Ringgold, kind of northeast of Ringgold by about 10 miles. Out of nowhere, we see this rotation pop up, and this could actually warrant a tornado warning if the National Weather Service sees it. It's kind of hidden in there, so they may not, but that's some decently concerning rotation. Luckily, there's no towns at all in the path of this until Thedford, which is very far out. And it's not even looking like it's heading in the direction of Thedford, actually. It's kind of heading northwest. Man, there are seriously, like, no towns out here, huh? Well, that's good, because this could actually do something, tornadic-wise. Max velocity is live. Okay. Well, the next radar scan killed it a little bit, but it's still definitely there. But that, it gave me a little bit of a spook when I saw that. I really thought we were about to see a tornado drop, but we did not. We still could. It's still there. It's just not quite as impressive, but it could, be in a cycling stage or whatever. Alright, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom really quickly. I'm going to throw a be right back on the screen. And as it says, I will be right back. So, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, everybody, I am back, and it looks like that rotation has since died out. We do not have any new warnings, unless my radar Omega is just being bad again. But I don't think we have any new warnings since I left. We do have a new special weather statement, and it's an extension for this storm as it approaches Salina and Lindsberg. 50 mile per hour or 55 mile per hour winds and pea-sized hail possible. We do have a new damaging wind report that's going to be from Overton. It's a 58 mile per hour gust. Let me actually test this out. Do you guys like this? If there's a new tornado warning, what if I did this?
A new tornado warning has been issued. Take cover now.
I kind of like the take cover now on the end. Kind of gets the message out there. Again, that was just a test. There's no new tornado warning. Still down to 4 warnings. Again, unless my radar omega is glitching out. But I'm looking at the NWS Twitter severe thunderstorm page and I'm not seeing much. Not much as of recent. We still have 4 warnings in effect. All for 70-mile-per-hour winds at least. I mean, none of them are higher than that. I just meant, anyway, it doesn't matter. What was that sound that my nose just made? I did it again. I don't know how I did that. I can't do it again. Huh. Alright then. My nose does some weird things. Okay? I don't want to get too into detail because that'd be a little TMI, but... yeah. Yeah, the line kind of breaks once you get to, like, the Kearney area. Then it's kind of more of these, like, supercells, but those can still cause problems. In fact, they bring a higher tornado threat than the actual line does. The damaging wind threat overall is less, though, I'd say. Our chasers are starting to get in on this 70-mile-per-hour wind action. There, near Asherville. Still sitting at 5 damaging wind reports from today so far. All of them from this bow echo here, this line. These supercells can still produce some pretty concerning gusts. Even the warning down there in Kansas that's just for these supercells, not the line, is still 70-mile-per-hour wind warning. Because, I mean, even though there's not really a line formation here, these are still, you know, these are supercells. They're not your typical everyday storm. You can see them on velocity. Every now and then you'll see a little spike in the velocities. That's usually where a supercell is. Like this. I bet you, if we turn over to reflectivity, there is a storm there. And yes, there is. So, they're still capable of producing some pretty dangerous level winds. Look at the Burlington, Kansas live cam, by the way. They're not even in storms. Those are just, like, crazy winds. It's a beautiful sunny day out other than those 50 or so mile-per-hour gusts. And unfortunately, we can't check this. I said this last stream, which is why I'm saying again, but unfortunately, we can't check the winds on this because for some reason it's glitched and it's not telling us. Oh, this is on the Tempest. It says 27.6. Huh. Not quite as high as I thought. But whatever. Again, you guys, this is really taking a bow echo shape as it approaches Broken Bow. Haha, haha. Okay, I'll stop. I don't even need somebody to tell me that joke was stupid. My brain told me that joke was stupid. By the way, this one for Mullen has been downgraded to 60-mile-per-hour gusts and no longer has the tornado possible tag on it. So, yep, there's the update on that one. These, I'm almost about to start switching my main focus over to these supercells here because they're actually quite concerning. You know how fast one of these can spin up a tornado? And maybe I don't realize it? Very quickly, to say the least. Like, out of nowhere, that pocket of rotation formed and then immediately died earlier, but it still formed. And if that just went a little bit further in its development, we could have had a tornado drop there. Which is why they always talk about discrete supercells being bad. The 1-inch hail tag was also taken off of the one up here, but the hail was never really the main concern near Mullen. Let's be real here. It's the winds and the tornadic potential. We do have a new damage and wind report. That is going to come from Willow Island. This is our first 70 mile per hour wind report, so it's official. We have 70 mile per hour winds slamming the state of Nebraska right now. Again, that is our first report of 70 miles per hour or higher. That's very significant. Considerable, at least. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. At least the alarms are working. And it disappeared. Come on, come back. I saw you. I don't know where you were, but I saw you flash. Come on, pop back up, please. Don't play this game. You're really gonna make me pull up the Twitter page, aren't you? You know, I just X'd out of it. I'm not even seeing it on the NWS Twitter page. Okay. This makes no sense. So your severe thunderstorm warning continues, but I don't see a new one issued. Okay. Well, I guess it just wanted to make the noise randomly, and I guess I didn't see a warning box flash up. It's done that a couple times before. It'll just make the warning sound randomly. Like, my Radar Omega is broken. It's not just on my computer. It's on my iPad, too. I don't know if that's a problem anybody watching has been having. If you use Radar Omega, let me know, but I sure as heck have. Oh, wait. There it is. There's the new warning. It wasn't a glitch. It's just not popping up on the NWS Twitter page. Okay. Well, that is for Broken Bow now. So, Broken Bow, I mentioned you earlier. You're officially under a 70 mile per hour wind warning. I said, 15, 20 minutes ago, in 15 or 20 minutes, this will be on your doorstep, and now it is. And there's another new warning. That's all the way down in Kansas for these supercells that are firing off near Beloit. That is near where our storm chasers are at. So we are back up to 6 severe thunderstorm warnings. 5 of them are considerable. The other one is still for 60 mile per hour winds, so we'll see what happens here, you guys. So again, so far most of our damage and wind reports have come from the southern and southwestern portions of Nebraska there from our Bow Echo. You can actually look at the SBC website and see the wind reports, or even in a Bow Echo shape, which makes sense, but still interesting to see. Sorry, my family's being loud in the background. Have a little bit of rotation there. It looks to be dying out, though. That's to the far southeast of Hyannis. Again, I would say it's somewhere else. I don't want to say it's far southwest of somewhere, but there's nowhere else to say. Or southeast, rather, not southwest. Sorry. It is to the south of Whitman, you could say, but it's still like 9 or so miles to the south. But that will head towards Whitman, so Whitman, that's coming for you. It's not that intense. Actually, it's going to head closer to Duluth, I would say. Alright, guys. We've been live for about 45 minutes. I think what I'm going to do is end off here and come back whenever something more significant is going on. Because we've already talked about the winds. We've already talked about where they're going, what's happening, what's going to happen. I feel like we've covered things pretty well right now. So if like a tornado warning or something is issued, I'll come hop back on. But I think that's going to be it for right now. So thank you all for